Whoa, what's happening, dudes? Welcome to the Sun-Dried Bunnies Podcast with your host, as always, Sol, and for one of the few times we'll see for a few months now, the wonderful Death Violence, of course. Yes.
Heyo.
Heyo, there she is, streaming from the couch, ladies and gentlemen.
I am streaming from the couch.
Yes, there is the wonderful DV. She's been on a little bit of a break. She will be on a more extended one. So, DV, how have things been since we last saw you?
It's going. I'm in the process. I got a new job, so I am in the process of packing up my whole house and moving. And I just got approved for the house that we're going to be renting. So,
yeah,
excellent. Very fun.
I love it.
But it's just very busy and very tired.
It is. And so I want to just say now, I'm very thankful, very grateful for you giving me your time, at least one last time for now, for this podcast.
Yeah.
This podcast is a very, very special podcast in the history of the show because it is my birthday week. So I thought it was only apt that we bring in someone who is not necessarily a streamer, but someone connected to moi. And much as we did with when we brought Noda in over the summer.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted Death Violence to be here for that. As well. And for anyone who doesn't know, the podcast will be continuing in the interim. We still have one every 2 weeks. And instead of Death Violence here, she has graciously given the reins over to Big Potato, my wonderful cesspit partner. Makes it sound like I'm calling her a cesspit. But a Discord partner. And she helped us do the pilot. Big Potato has also been a guest on the show herself. So we felt, she also mods us both. Felt rather apt and appropriate, and we do appreciate you very much. Nodder. You'll appreciate that. But yes, thank you all guys, everyone, for being here, and welcome to the Sun-Dried Bunnies Podcast once again. So yeah, a lot of things happening, moving around for you.
Yeah.
I'm glad things are moving in a positive direction, though.
It seems that way.
It seems that way.
So we'll hope it keeps going that way, but it's just a lot all at once.
If it seems like shit, it sounds like shit, it smells like shit, it's probably shit. But if it sounds good, smells good, looks good, don't be fooled. But it might be good. Okay. Just keep those good vibes and momentum going. Because you said Noda, like Noda, and I was just trying to make fun of you. Charming. That's going to be my future co-host for the show, ladies and gentlemen. What have I got myself in store for? So no DV diary this week because I didn't want to pressure it on the DV diary.
There's also nothing exciting happening.
Well, I mean, you've got a lot of exciting things sort of happening.
I got stuff all over the house. It's a mess.
How are the cats taking to the moving?
So far they're okay. We'll see if that continues. I don't know how it's going to continue. I'm not looking forward to the drive because it's like a 6.5 hour drive.
Oh,
because you're a complete bastard.
So that'll be fun.
Oh, we got hosted by Maggie, who's hosting after her show finished.
Love that.
I find that rather difficult to believe.
Thank you so much, Maggie, for that. I appreciate it. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, what? Did you guys think I was making up moving?
No!
What?
No.
Or do you mean like significantly moving, like not across the street? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, I didn't realise it was 6 hours.
Yeah, it's a 6-hour drive.
I'm just going to disable the timers on some of these. I didn't realise some of the Nightbot was still going on some of these things. But yeah, no, I didn't realise it was going to be 6 hours. I knew it was a substantial move, but still, that's crazy. But yeah, so you talk about feeling it and knowing that you have to get it done. And around Christmas too, busy time of year.
Yeah, so we're gonna be not going home for Christmas, but we'll be there the day after, because it's actually in my hometown that we're moving to.
Oh, right. Okay.
So
where's your hometown?
It'll save us trips in the past. In the Panhandle near Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, exotic. Oh.
Exotic.
You say Florida to a Brit. Exotic, right? Everywhere you go in Florida, there isn't a bad place in Florida except the marshlands, right? That's it. Okay.
Have you been to Florida?
Yeah. No, of course not. I'm English. We don't go there. We just dream of it.
You just think it's exotic. Okay.
See, fancy.
I can't think of what's fancy. The only thing that's really nice is the beach.
It's like
but even then, some of the beaches are trash.
It's like when people say, "I really want to go to London," and we're like, "Really? You want to get stabbed?" It's like, really? It's raining here. If you stand on the top of a double-decker bus for too long, you'll drown because it's open top. You know. Wait, how's that work? It would just overflow.
What are you talking about?
I didn't even think of that. All right, guys. All right. So I've been all right. I've been streaming a bit more. If anyone was able to catch the Vegas stream Friday, I brought back many a character from my past. Have come back in. Yeah, some people are not familiar with the fact that I actually have a selection of characters, and so I kept them well hidden for some time, and I think it's time to bring them back, so you might see a lot more of them in the coming weeks. Someone who is familiar with one of them, and I think Harley's going to post the emote, I'm sure, which will be the new emote I've got, which she loves. There it is. Now, our guest tonight will recognise this character a lot more than anyone else, who made their debut on Friday's Vegas stream in a photo shoot, which is where we span the wheel and it landed on photo shoot, and they got to pick which character engaged in the photo shoot. And I brought in Monty, Montgomery Smythe. Now, our guest tonight is my best friend. I sometimes say my saviour. A good man all round, and believe me, he's in the festive spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, he's going to remember to unmute and then turn his camera on. I'd like to welcome in the one, the only, Eddie of Doom.
Hello.
Hello, hey, welcome. Talk for
How's
a bit.
it going?
There you are, good.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me to unmute, because I didn't realise I'd already muted it, so that's really handy to know.
We've done this show a lot to recognise when you need to. Yes, there he is, Eddie. Absolutely. Do you recognise Montgomery Smythe, Eddie?
Of course.
Yeah. Because Eddie's birthday actually got a very personal message from Montgomery once. Which is
last year.
It's very true. Because it was great. He was great enough to be gifted an idea where you could go on a website and you got to solve puzzles. Correct?
Yeah. It took me a lot longer than the recommended time, but I got through it eventually.
And you then were given a code, and then that code would be put into a website, and it will unlock a video that's been set up for you. And one of those videos was of Monty wishing you happy birthday in a very promiscuous manner, let's say.
It was a personal highlight of mine. Not just the birthday, but the year in general.
I love that.
What do you think of the notion of everyone thinking Montgomery is a pimp?
I can see why people think that. I mean, it is subtle. It's incredibly subtle, but there is definitely some notes there, so. There is a possibility that it might be true.
I think that Big Potato might have nailed it here. I feel like Eddie and Sol are opposites, like in a Christmas rom-com. Eddie is the one with a holiday cheer, and so is the Scrooge. Bum hug. Bum hug to
I
you all.
can see that.
What is the website? Oh, I don't know. I don't remember what the website was. Do you remember, Eddie?
Where's the code?
I can share it. With Eddie's approval, I can post the video in Discord.
Please, that'd be great.
You'll see Montgomery's message to Eddie. Yeah, absolutely. I'll post it in there afterwards. Absolutely, it'll be a Discord exclusive.
It's really cool. It was a really cool present, especially the birthday hit pretty much just very soon after lockdown, so I couldn't really do much. So it was quite nice to sort of see people in some sort of medium, so that was really interesting. Because
I had a big event planned, didn't I, last year, which was this was before I ever came to Twitch or even thought of streaming, and the idea was that we were going to get a whole group of our friends together around my house for a big kind of performance/game. I was going to turn my house into the Crystal Maze. And if anyone's not familiar with the Crystal Maze, basically it's a game where you'd have a team of people, they'd be led around a studio, and they go into rooms and they play games, either physical, mental, or skill-based. And if they succeed, they win a crystal for their team. And I actually got genuine Crystal Maze crystals. I created this character, Montgomery, who was going to host it. And And unfortunately, the lockdown hit. So we couldn't have people around at all. So the whole thing was sort of cancelled. It was going to have sketches I filmed with everyone. So all I could do was post a message to Eddie with the character. And since then, it's laid dormant because I then went on to stream and I thought, let's do some of these ideas and bring them forward into a streaming landscape. But I went invited to a Soul party down.
Yeah, honestly, so a few years ago, Sol hosted what he called the Little Skinny Quiz of the Year. Yeah. Well, we had a big group of friends come, and we thought it was just gonna be a standard quiz night at my flat.
He did normal quiz.
Yeah, and then we walked in, and he started setting up a podium. I figured, okay, we'll just let this go, and then all of a sudden he had costumes, he had characters, there were video intros, there were video quizzes. It was honestly probably one of the funnest nights I've ever had in my life. And I went in there, we were all there to sort of support, not knowing what to expect, and we were all genuinely crying with laughter by the end. My team didn't win, but luckily I got my hands on one of the trophies, so technically I could say I won.
You did.
And also, more importantly, I went home with a copy of Tetris on the original Game Boy as a consolation prize. So who's the real winner?
Really, honestly, that's absolutely true. There was prizes won. There was, and I genuinely got trophies commissioned with the Little Skinny Quiz of Everything award winners. Yeah, the winning team ended up being 3 people, even though it wasn't meant to be. And so I only had 2 trophies made. And I was the quiz master with KWIZ. But the idea behind creating these big social events is what led me to streaming and creating streams like the Vegas stream I just did. And some of the other ideas that I've had over these last months. The idea of organising events in such a structure is definitely what has translated onto what I would consider a variety streamer and stuff like that. So, that's out of the way. Eddie, welcome in.
Hello.
to the Sun-Dried Bunnies
Thank you for
Podcast.
having me.
Who the bloody hell are you?
Oh, you're asking a lot of questions there.
Yeah.
Well, my name's Eddie. I'm 31. I like long walks on the beach. I like long walks playing Pokemon Go. And that's pretty much my only hobby, really. Yeah, what do you want to know?
Yeah. So the reason we're interviewing Eddie is because of his connection to moi, and we've known each other since Merrifield, which was our primary school. So we've sort of known each other since we were, how old have we been? 4, 5?
Yeah. Pretty much the nursery, primary, reception age, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
what's
awesome.
your highest Pokemon on Pokemon Go?
Oh, I have a 4,169 CP Mewtwo. It's lucky. It's 15, 15, 14. Yeah, so not that I know a lot about them, obviously, but yes, that would be the highest. I was also, fun fact, if anyone plays PvP on Pokemon, which is like 10 people around the world, I was number 125 in the world at one point this year, so that's my only claim to fame, really. Oh, my claim to fame before then was I was in the top 15,000 in Angry Birds.
Oh, nice.
Throwback. So, going up in the world.
Sorry, I got startled.
Hopefully next year, see how it goes, but,
I got startled by the cat.
Sorry.
God, I was like, what's he about to grab? And then boom, it came up and got me. Look at him go. He's a professional. Look at him go. FPG, you're in with some competition here, mate. It might not be as fun.
Free time.
A lot of free time. So we know each other since a very young age, from nursery, primary school, that kind of thing. We had different middle schools, didn't we? We sort of lost contact, and then we came sort of back together at Hartswood in our third school, and that's sort of where we kind of knew each other then, but even then we weren't really hanging out that much. Like, it was just sort of we knew each other from a young age. That's sort of it. We kind of ran
Right.
I kind of ran around all the cliques, and Eddie sort of had his own select group, I would say, that you could easily find him with. But we never had any problems with good friends. But it was afterwards, doing it because we ended up in the same job. We both ended up working at Tesco, and I would walk past regularly, and we'd just have long conversations, and we kind of hit it off. We didn't realise how much we had in common, I think.
that was it. We just sort of chat in the halls of like where we worked, you know, just chatting away, and then we'd sort of mention going to see a film, and then you would talk about the lore of this film or something. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I know this as well. And then we talk about games, and it was great. You know, just had a lot in common.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so I kind of knew Eddie from work for at least a good 5 years, I would say. Just from like a little bit more regular talking and that kind of thing, go through Facebook, having the occasional conversation. But then it might get a bit personal here, so I hope everyone's okay with it, because people did want to know why I might call you my saviour. Basically, I hit a very, very low point around the age of, I believe, 27. I think I was at the time. It was several years ago now. The lowest I ever got, right? I've been prone to suicidal thoughts in the past, very shuttered person. I closed myself away for a good 14 years before I feel like I came out here to a more broad spectrum. But it was Eddie reaching out, because he didn't do what other people did. Okay, he didn't just kind of reach out and say, hey, is there anyone you want to talk to? Or they didn't wait until like I put a message out that was like a bit like venting, and then say, are you all right? Then they disappear from my life for the next like 5 months until I do it again or whatever. Right. He genuinely reached out at a time when I was actually very low, but I hadn't like posted anything, and it was reactionary. He genuinely just came with a suggestion of like, do you want to hang out? And I just went, why not? I feel like shit, why not? That's all it took, was me to just go, why the hell not? And that was it. He endeavoured. He never pressured me into doing anything. And I really thank him very much for that, because it's like he goes to clubs quite often. He drinks. He can let himself go. I'm painting quite the character. He goes to festivals. He travels a lot. He's wonderful, right? He's an all-round character. I don't do those things, and I really like intimate stuff. I really like people. Okay, so the event doesn't really matter to me. Like, I'm not big into loud music, and when I say loud music, I don't mean I don't like heavy metal or anything like that, but rather just in a place where I can't talk. I can't communicate. It really bothers me, because that is how I really enjoy myself, is through communication. And so he was able to, like, he let me invite me along. He let me try things. He never pressured me into doing anything. He never stopped asking, and he found things that I did enjoy. So if he's having people round his place, he'll invite me round. I can come round. I can talk. I can engage. I can bring something to the table, I feel like. And I've made many friends off the back of Eddie, and I felt like I was getting my self-worth back in a lot of the ways. I wouldn't be streaming now if it wasn't for Eddie and what he did for me. So thank you very much, Eddie. I can say it publicly. Thank you very much for doing everything you've done. What are your memories of those years of our friendship blossoming in the last 10 years? I would say.
Yeah, I think that's probably the nicest thing anyone's ever said. So I'm not sure how to take. I'm not very good at these sort of things.
That's fair.
Say thank you.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I remember that. I think the first time we hung out, we went to see a film, and then we're just sort of chatting. Like before, I'm quite nervous. I'm very easy to sort of say, yeah, let's do something, and then when people agree, I'm thinking, oh no, I'm not very conversational. I'm not sure if they're going to enjoy my company or anything. So we just sort of, we hit it off. We just chatted for ages beforehand, then afterwards, and we made it like a regular thing. And yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of different interests, but you have tried stuff. You come out with us to that club that time, you know. So that's the thing. You put yourself out there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we've had some great times. We've done loads together, and every time we've done something, it's been really fun. And it's things that I would never try. So I remember we said once, you come round, you said, I've written this script. Do you want to go through this together?
That's right.
And I thought, yeah, all right. And then we just did. And then it was, honestly, we were just crying with laughter for ages. It went so well.
It did.
Yeah, we'd be filming stuff. I've never done anything sort of film-wise or anything, or dreaming of anything, obviously, as you'd imagine. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just been great fun, you know. And it's our friendship has very much blossomed, and it's really interesting to think, you know, we've known each other forever. I mean, I remember some of the first years of school, and just sort of you being there, and just sort of just seeing you in the same sort of place as me, and sort of growing up and that, you know. So But it's good.
Yeah.
And then, you come out and introduce you to a load of people, and they all think you're great. Every single person you've met thinks you're fantastic. They're always asking when is Sol going to come and join us. And he's like, so.
And I want to. I fucking want to. And I feel like I'm in a better position now to do it. I've finally got my sleep back on track. So
we love that.
Yeah, it is back on track, and I felt good. I genuinely felt good this week. Like, I've had streams which have been a bit slow, which I know that, like, hey, you're gonna have them, right? You're gonna have slow ones, right? But I got into a real state where I was like, not only am I having slow streams, like I was having other issues at the same time, so I felt like everything was piling on top of me. So while it wasn't one thing specifically, it was adding to the pile. But I felt good this week. I've eaten, I've slept, and I've had great streams where I've enjoyed them, and I haven't cared much about, I'm sitting low for a long period. Who cares, right? As long as we're having good times, as long as the people in the chat are having a good time, that's what it's all about. And it's that clarity of mind that I needed, and I'm benefiting from it. So, I'm on a better schedule for us to actually do stuff now, Eddie. That's the main stuff,
fine. And that's it. It's always like, if we're doing something, I'll always send you a text. Do you fancy coming? If you want to come, fantastic. If not, that's absolutely fine. You're busy. You're a very busy guy as well. It's just one of those. We have a very good friendship where there's no sort of stress or anything. I would never take it personally, and then like that.
That's right.
And then when you come out, everyone thinks it's great. We have a great time no matter what we do.
It's the opportunity. No one ever gave me the opportunity. Like I say, people will reach out, go, "You're all right," and then when I've calmed down, they've gone away. Yeah, I was given the opportunity to try things. If when you're sitting on your own, and you're like, "Oh, just go out somewhere." Like, the anxiety is too much for me. Like, I could barely answer the phone, or make a phone call because I'm like, I just don't want to leave the room or whatever, because I'd rather sit here and be in my comfort zone. I wasn't given the reason. Like, sometimes we need someone to not necessarily hold our hand literally, but at least offer a hand out so that it's there to fall back on or to lean on. And I felt like I was given an opportunity, and I would be foolish not to take it. I've said no to Eddie because, like, going to a festival or going to a club, and yes, I think club is the same in British and American, I think. So it's like, I don't know where I was going. Some things I have said no to, like festivals. I'm probably not going to be all that. I'm not into the big music scene. I prefer the comfort of home and warmth. It's fine. But the social interaction's great, but I can get the social interaction in other ways. Now, with Eddie, he sometimes has little soirees at his place. And I have got a little meme going of my own, although I wouldn't have called it a meme a year ago because I'm only just now learning what a meme is. But Eddie, do you want to tell people about the magic bag?
Okay, so if anyone has the misfortune to never come into a Sol party, the best thing about Sol coming around is the magic bag. And it started off as like there was one, and then it become a running thing, and everyone who is in attendance to any of these events is sitting there waiting for the magic bag. And it's a bag full of just unusual things, like a bag of wonder. So I'll give you some examples. So here you go, Eddie. Here's a bottle of water I drank some out of on the way over here, and here's a pack of sweets I found in the cupboard, or here's a copy of Tetris from the original Game Boy, or here's a CD of Ozzy Osbourne, but it's just the box, and inside is a CD of sort of Alanis Morissette or something else, just 8-Legged Freaks on DVD, or...
But,
I was like, thank you.
The two I've always think of, which never got actually all that big of a laugh, but for me they're always, and that always works. The funniest things I always want to get the laughs for me, but was the remote control to my old television set, without the batteries, in case anyone was getting some ideas, and a fork that I conveniently found on the road here. Which I didn't. It was just a fork in the road. But so a simple gag. But I loved them. I never knew what I was going to pull out next. So I once reached in and just went, "Oh, that's my bitterness." And that was just like that. So DB, what would be in your magic bag?
Oh God, I don't know.
I didn't know I was going to ask that question.
No, I didn't.
I thought on the spot.
That's someone who was not prepared for those exact words.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what's in my purse at the moment.
Oh, that's always.
I
That's
have
always
a
magic.
sketchbook that's about this
A
big.
cat straw. I was going to say, here's 0.
A cat straw! Yeah, it just pull the little thing out. A leg? Did you see his little foot?
There's a foot.
Actually, I think I have a cat sweater in my purse right now that I think about
That's
it.
pretty cool. And I've just whacked myself with my own headphone
Love that.
cable. Oh, dear. My handbag is called Mary Poppins bag.
Love that.
That's mine. Yeah.
Is that the one like where you can open it and you can pull out a massive ladder and
Yeah.
and like a grandfather clock?
Yeah.
Then that is Harley's bag. Yes. Yeah. Eddie kind of got me into a place where I was in a much better state of mind, because I also at the same time went through mental health treatment. I felt with him giving me the opportunities that he's given me, I felt in a better place to at least try things a lot more. So I went into the NHS mental health service. I think they do a wonderful job for some people. I don't feel I got any benefit other than realising that they can't help me. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually went to group therapy, and a lot of the other people mistook me for working for the actual...
Group therapy sounds terrible. I don't think I'd want
it was awful. I did all the therapies they offered me. Eventually I said, look, none of this is really working. I'm not feeling any beneficial. They agreed that my depression, it's major depression. It's habitual to my current situation that I find myself in. It's not caused by a trauma or a specific event. It's not caused by any sort. It's basically the mind that has developed has created a platform for depression to exist. So while it will never go away, that I took from that was that I need to be in control of this. So when I came out the other side, I was more determined than I was before. Rather than like crying out for help, I knew that help weren't there. So I didn't give in. I still fight, and I fight to survive myself. I'm getting eye of the tiger there. Yes, rising up, right, and I'm back on my feet. And so what I did was I just basically got into a mindset where I need to be in control. The problem with that is I needed to surround myself with people to lean on. So that didn't mean that I was looking for help from them. What I meant is I needed support from them. And that doesn't mean, hey, you support me now. What it means is find the people that genuinely can support you just by being themselves. You finished Celeste today. Nice one, Chungy. Your main campaign. I want to see you 100% it. The sun rose and soul was born. Oh, that's actually quite nice, actually.
And he coughed twice if he's paying you to be here.
I would wonder who he's looking at then, just to the side.
Yeah, so that's the chat there. That's the chat there, by the way. That was FPG.
The tongue is there. It's in the room. I don't know.
but yes, I got the to control it myself, and it was people like Eddie and his mates, and just to give him the opportunities that he has and general support. And I remember Eddie was my first mod. He has no idea what that is. He didn't know what streaming was.
Putting it, using those words loosely there, but yeah.
I only learned what it was like barely a month before. And so on the first stream on February 5th or 7th, I can't remember what it is now because there was some confusion over that. I believe it is the 5th. It was a Thursday. Eddie came, I'll mod for you. And I just said, I just need you to test audio, test if everything's working on your end. And so he was there and he was like, yeah, sure. And 17 people showed up. Yeah, it was like, this was meant to be a test stream, and now here we are playing games and talking, and it's happening, and here we go. And it's just happened. So I think you... Oh, that's a great pop-up there. I love that. Eddie, I think you mentioned it to me before on a car trip, but how do you feel that I've changed from before streaming to after beginning streaming?
Honestly, I'd say streaming is the best thing you've ever done, to be honest. I mean, you've always been sort of you're an intelligent guy, you're very eloquent, you're very easy to talk to, and you're very knowledgeable on a lot of things. You've been always really engaging, and you've got a very good sort of demeanour. If people talk to you, that you entertain, you engage them in conversation, and obviously from the little skinny quiz, you know you're a really good host. You can command a room of people there without And that was the first thing. It's the first time we'd ever done anything like that at all, you know.
Yeah,
and everyone was absolutely loving it, you know. Yeah. And a lot of people didn't even know each other, so I was worried it was going to be a little bit awkward, but it was great, you know. And then I think sort of finding a platform to be able to do that regularly and engage with new people. You're completely different. You're the soul I knew already, but on like a major scale now for everyone, because you do it so easily, you know. You're always very engaging. And it's just great. You clearly love what you do, and that's the most important thing, you know. And you've got this amazing community around you that people all over the world, you know.
That's true.
I don't understand it at all. You know? All different time zones, all different countries and stuff. Right. They're all here.
To think that when I first started, I literally was just going to play some games. Hey, fans, welcome back. I'm literally just going to play some games and maybe someone will show up in a few years, genuinely. And I feel so fucking grateful and honoured, not only to have this platform, to have a podcast right now with one of my personal friends, one of my best friends is Death Fighters, I would say, because I've grown a relationship with people from around the world. I don't have to. The glory of technology is I don't have to like sort of go to them and hang out with them and know them for a long period of time to find fantastic individuals. Death Fighters, Big Potato, Harley, FPG, while I knew briefly before, our relationship's blossomed just from the fact that we wanted to get into the same kind of market, you know. Puns is another recent one. Meatloaf, they're all there. Like I can name everyone in the fucking chat. Like it's crazy. It's I never thought I'd be here so soon, so quick, and I'm honoured to have it. But one thing I wanted to bring in, the reason why you're here specifically, we stopped talking about me and blowing smoke, is that's why I wanted to get out of the way. But it's because while I'm here, I wanted to incorporate everything that has built me up to this point, if that makes sense. So there was no way I was not going to bring Eddie in, right? Because I want to let everyone know how fantastic he is, and he's willing to do stuff like we've done with the Blackadder and what we're going to do tomorrow with the Red Dwarf when we film it. Like, we have to do that. The bottom episode, we have to do that. We have to give you that platform. We were even going to do Dark Souls, weren't we? I think we're still on the agenda. We
still are at some point. It's one of the few games I'm actually okay at, so you know.
Absolutely. He was going to play it, and I was going to look into the lore until I don't really know much about the lore of it. I'm just going to go in blind and actually try to interpret stuff from the world building and characters and start to form something like from my studies, basically. Hey, Dominic!
If you want to see a 31-year-old man dressed in Christmas garb and wanting to throw his controller every 15 seconds, we'll tune into the Dark Souls stream we eventually do.
Yes, please.
Be really entertaining, at least.
Definitely going to do it. We'll probably do it in the new year. You know, I'm still. This is the thing. Like, things happen very quickly. I'm still trying to find my footing and trying to get what I do. And one of the things I've done, which is the staple that will always be here, is these Sunday shows and the development of them, and this podcast, which basically kicked that whole thing off. In some form. That's why I brought in the characters and stuff like that. I just wanted to bring in all aspects of what makes me me and express it out into the world in the most creative way that I could. Lore in Dark Souls. Yeah, I should say, when I say lore, I don't mean... Obviously, we'll look into Dark Souls lore, like the actual lore of the game, but the one thing that people mistake me in doing is, when I do analysis, I don't necessarily look at lore as in backstory. I look into what the creators and developers of the game took their influences from and what it means in a more grounded and real sense. So I talk about stuff like the way the inner mind would work, or consciousness, if it explores realms of deeper philosophy of the mind, or if it's something from past like Eastern religion, iconography, symbology, and drawing meaning from those and then applying it to the media to find new ways of looking at interpreting things. I can tell you now that if you've ever played Silent Hill, if I play Silent Hill on stream, you will never be able to see or play that game the same way again. Okay? I can literally blow your mind every few seconds with stuff that you will miss from a simple horror game that you may have thought was fun once upon a time and is now not only scarier, but will make a lot more sense to you. If you want to see some analysis streams that I have done, they are on the YouTube. DV, when you first started streaming, how did you find that sort of? Because like you have mentioned yourself that you've had anxiety issues. I suppose we all have in some form. How did you feel hitting the go live button for that first time?
I honestly didn't put much thought into it. I never thought of being a streamer. It was more so Noda that encouraged me to do it. It was like a whole group thing, like all of our little friend group, all of us were going to do it. So there was a day we were like going to start a new Minecraft world, and we were all like, okay, let's just go ahead and start streaming. We'll just start with this Minecraft world, and we'll just figure it out as we go. So that's what we did. And like, I'll admit, like, I knew nothing about Twitch. I never even watched a Twitch stream before going live. I just kind of hit the button, and then, like, people would pop in chat and, like, ask to join my game, and I totally forgot that they could hear me, so I was, like, typing in chat, replying to them.
Oh, really?
But eventually it just kind of turned into, out of the boys, they slowly stopped streaming, and for some reason I just kept going. So yeah, I don't know, but it's been fun.
I think you realised like it was a great platform, especially for your art pieces as well. Like you definitely enjoy the engagement very much. I'm very thankful. If you never played Little Nightmares, I never have found you. You know,
that's true.
You know, and I'm very grateful that I did. I did that once. I lost my voice. What are you referring to?
What? Oh, Minecraft? No?
He did Minecraft quite a lot. He started on YouTube like me.
I was going to say.
We both started on Minecraft, me and FPG. Minecraft. We both started on YouTube, me and FPG. And,
typing in chat.
Oh, typing in chat. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, because you lost your voice. Oh, I got you. I thought you meant you were typing in chat and then your voice went. It was like, how does this work?
Energy into the typing. Yeah. And it's just completely exhausted.
And then he went, oh yeah, I can talk. I can't talk anymore. Great impression of someone who lost their voice there. Hello, I'm Dave. I hope I'm so. At least I have my real name then. I'm so used to being around Eddie and saying his real name. I nearly said my own.
Really well not to say.
Yeah, you can probably work it out.
At all so far.
I know. No, so Eddie, you're in a festive spirit. I'm guessing you love Christmas.
I hate it. It's my least favourite holiday, actually. I don't know what gave you that impression.
Why is my friend?
I absolutely adore Christmas. I have 10 Christmas jumpers, most of which
sweaters.
Okay.
Sweaters, or sweaters for those not in the UK.
Oh, I thought jumpers were pants.
This is a beautiful depiction of the Battle of Hoth, which, of course, if you look into the Christmas lore, a big part of the Christmas lore is when Father Christmas helped liberate Hoth from the Sith. It's just a jumper that commemorates that really important part of our history. Really, I think it's something we need to remember at all times. Oh yeah, I need to show it. Hang on 1 second.
There you go. Wait, look at that.
Hey, it's majestic, isn't it? It's absolutely wonderful. You know, so that's really the spirit of Christmas.
I'd say every time I see him around the Christmas period, I walk in and I'll immediately, within 5 seconds, I go, "What the fuck are you wearing?"
Yeah. This is the nicest one. This is the nicest jumper. And also I own a Dark Souls one. I own a Borderlands one. I've got the one I should have worn is actually Alfonso Ribeiro, Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, in a lovely lime green and hot pink neon next jumper, which probably for the best I didn't wear that.
We have eyes that need saving
in the future. You know, so yeah.
Oh dear! And I love the additional beard there. Have you ever thought about dyeing it white at all?
What I'm thinking is that day will come. So
right.
I like to sort of keep the ginger as long as possible,
Gotcha.
and then when it turns white, I can sort of. I do have some lights, but I just couldn't find them earlier on. They're just some lights to go with the goggles.
You should do a glitter beard.
I should actually. I would be down for that. I would next Christmas I'll do one.
And DV, have you ever thought about dyeing your beard white?
No. I have a hard time maintaining myself in those.
Oh dear.
Big Potato, I have not seen the Baby Yoda jumper. I think you should wear it at some point.
I legit almost introduced myself as Big Potato while giving an interview once. I can see her doing it.
I love that.
She gives interviews quite often. Just like, hi, I'm Big Potato.
want that to be your nickname at work when you just accidentally let that slip once, and then they always refer to you as Big Potato in the future. It happened to me once when a pet name I had for a partner in my past was Bubbles. And they come into work and met me once, and they said, "Hi, Bubbles," and my manager was next to me, and they turned to me and went, "Bubbles," and then for years that was the name around work.
I love that.
She's got many names as well, so I can see her going, "Hi, I'm Big Potato. I meant Potat. I meant Potato. I meant Little Potato. I meant Spud. I meant just listening to the whole thing. Well, my co-workers actually do know me as Big Potato Man because we always play. That's right. That's where your name actually comes from. That's right. Yeah. That's great. I think it was Clown Daddy. I think he's lurking at the moment. Who the other day I was in a VC with, and I mentioned that Big Potato will be on the Quadrant next week with him as a guest, and he went, "Yeah, I love that dude. He's a good man." No, Big Potato's female. I've only seen them in chat. I was like, that's understandable. Oh dear. Okay, you'll meet them next week. Don't worry. Eddie, so yeah, I really want to engage with Eddie and bring him in, and you're going to see him on Twitch. You're going to see him on the Quadrant.
Honestly, no word of a lie. When I first watched it, I absolutely loved any panel shows, and I was crying with laughter every time I see Twitch. And I watched it, the one that was just on recently, and watching everyone do the thinking of all the puns, and then it just went on for ages, and then they're still good, and then people were just like the panic on their faces, and couldn't think of something. It's brilliant to watch. I absolutely loved it.
It's awkward, it's rough around the edges, but that's what makes it endearing, I hope. It's a lot of fun. We've got another episode coming up in 2 weeks, a Christmas special. It's interesting because actually on that day, I should say it now, we'll have Lord Entropy, my liege, who's regular in chat. Well, I think we'll have his first face reveal on stream, or at least in the community. Not only that, then Shani will be on this podcast afterwards, giving her own face reveal. So, Christmas presents and gifts all around in face reveals.
Okay.
Of course, Eddie, people have seen you before, because not only have you guested on my stream once, we did that game, The Park, if you remember, but you've also been on these performances that we've done, and Soulfest, obviously. And
you'd be surprised the amount of times I've been recognised in the street based on those performances. There is a number between 0 and 100, and I'm not going to say exactly which number. You can probably guess.
Oh, well, yeah. The odds are in my favour that it's high. It's above 10, and that's not great. Above fucking 5. I mean, that's something. Makeup tutorial. That's right for Soulfest. That's right. You looked fabulous.
Oh yeah.
I've kept some of that stuff, and I've used it for Solita.
I actually tried really hard to get that right, and you saw how. So yeah, it's a good thing I'm not a woman. Just for the world, really. In all honesty, I did my best.
Eddie, if you were a woman, we would be married. That's all I'm saying.
Damn.
Fair enough.
I mean, what's stopping you now?
By now, given our relationship, I would be on that. Right? Okay.
You know the way to my heart, so you know what? This is the best day of my life, really. The best day of my life so far, I should say.
yes, very much so. I've got plenty more to give you. And so we've done an episode of Bottom, and we did an episode of Blackadder, and the Blackadder one went over quite well, I would say.
Oh my goodness!
That
was brilliant.
Yeah, it was great. And tomorrow we're going to be doing Red Dwarf. We haven't decided on what episode yet. That's the thing. Like, it's last minute. But that's what makes them great, I think, is the improv we do. In fact, like, literally, we are coming up with the idea, running through it once, then filming. And, it's just, we want to go at it. And I feel we did a really good job with Blackadder. Absolutely. I did actually, I don't know if you've seen it back, but I missed a few lines on it, mate. And we didn't record some Melchid's lines at the end. So what I did was I recorded it, the audio, then I reused clips of him and dubbed over it. So it basically, there's a bit where he goes, "Oh, why is this?" Right, and he's looking in that direction. So, "Oh, why is this?" And so you see that clip 3 times, but the next time you see it, it's, "Darling, what are you doing?" It's the same clip. "Darling, you're hysterical."
Improvise, adapt, overcome. That's what's important.
Exactly.
You'll be surprised to know that we don't put lots of rehearsal into that. You know, it is so polished and pristine. You know, I think But yeah, it's just one take, you know. It's just
doing the masturbating
that's
scene
talent, I think,
in Bottom,
really, you know?
doing the masturbating scene in Bottom, and then like
Yeah.
that still gives a callback now when I, when I do it. I wanted to get it so right, and also doing that Blackadder episode, you in the chair tied up.
Oh my god, yeah.
It took ages to do it, but it's such a good scene, and you really scored with that one. If you haven't seen them, they're both on YouTube. The Bottom one and the Blackadder. They're totally worth checking out. Even if you think we're butchering it, like it's it's still worth seeing, honestly, because it's a lot of laugh. The outtakes are in the Discord as well.
I think finding the props is brilliant. It's like, right, we need this. Okay, we don't have this. Let's use something that looks kind of like that instead. Or I need to be a nurse. How can I look like I'm a nurse? I'll just put a towel on my head. That's the universal sign of a nurse.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's how TikTok even functions.
That's actually
really?
true. Yeah, that's a good point. And then there's like, okay, I need to be
No idea. No idea.
But then it was, I need to be a wounded man. What can I do? Well, I'll just pull the towel down slightly.
It's the same thing.
I'm
Yeah.
hiding an eye wound. You know, that's fine. Everyone will get that.
Oh dear. Yeah, it wasn't a colander, was it? We used a it was a frying pan, was it? But we ended up using a colander, I think. But, I had frying pans, but I didn't want it to hurt him. So who knows what we're going to do tomorrow? We got to create a fucking spaceship, mate.
We'll do it. You know, I'll get some tin cans. We'll find like an umbrella. You know, we'll find a way.
There's in the Discord there is exclusive Discord videos under Soul, and you can see stuff that's unlisted that you can only see if you join the Discord. So that's just a little bit of a way to get people in there and get involved. And do you know what? Lord Entropy gave me the best compliment. You know what he said to me, Eddie? He said he was watching the outtakes on that night, and he before he went to bed, he said, "This reminds me of watching the old Red Dwarf Smeg Up tapes on VHS."
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's so good. That's nostalgia for me growing up. See, basically they made these videos where you could watch all the outtakes from Red Dwarf, like all of them fucking up and doing little bits and pieces. And I cut together all of our outtakes and stuff, and he was like, it just reminds me of that. And I was like, oh, I nailed it. That's exactly what I wanted. Yeah.
I've actually got one of those. Yeah, I've you know, when there was a little while ago, a few years ago, when there was that TV memorabilia shop that was there for a little while.
I met Craig Charles in that. I met Lister in that shop.
You did?
I did, yeah.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But I've got an autographed copy of a DVD of the Smeg Up, sort of in my loft somewhere. But it's just great. I've got a T-shirt and everything. I'm absolute Red Dwarf fanboy. So any episode, I'm down for.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We'll go through and we'll go like yes, no, what we could like somewhat do, and we'll work it out. Yeah. So Eddie, a lot of people know you as my sort of compadre friend that appears almost like a regular character, if anything. Just like one of my others. Like, oh, Eddie's going. Everyone gets excited, and I love that. One thing I definitely wanted to do with this channel was give it a platform for others as well as myself. And so even if you're not a streamer, so like Lord Entropy, yourself, like the fact you're involved means a lot to me. The fact you want to be here and do that. But Eddie, what do you do outside of being here as a guest?
I'll just sit in the room waiting for the invitation to join your stream. To be honest, no. So I'm very lucky. I can work during the day, so I work at home, which is brilliant. Aside from that, I've got a very, very lucky, I've got a very active social life and a very good group of friends and family, everyone around me. Mm-hmm. So I do go out quite often, go to a lot of gigs, a lot of concerts, went to The Offspring quite recently. Got loads planned for next year, quite a few festivals. I spent a lot of time going for walks, playing Pokemon Go. Old classic games consoles. I collect old consoles, so I pretty much a copy of every games console back to the original NES, all working. And I used to host sort of classic game nights every so often as well, which was always good fun. Yeah.
What I want to do...
Going ice skating at Christmas, that's pretty much it, to be fair.
I mean, lives here. What I want to do, and Eddie don't know this, right, is that I know that he's a collector of stuff, and I've been around his house often, and I'm always pointing something out that's on a shelf or just around, and I'm always going, oh look, I remember that, or oh, you've got this. What I want to do with Eddie, if he's willing, is maybe for YouTube content at the very least, is, if anyone has ever seen the YouTuber Ashens, right? He's a fantastic British YouTuber, and what he does is he has a couch and he'll literally sit there and he'll review stuff, whether it's old collectibles, memorabilia, anything he's just got from a thrift store, stuff like that. Always fun. He's a very funny guy. It would be amazing to just come around and grab something off your shelf and let's just talk about it for 20 minutes. Genuinely, just have a laugh and review whatever. If it's a board game, an old game, a figurine, just anything, an old console, anything like that. I think it'd be fantastic. If you
got enough of them.
Yeah, there you go. You see what I mean? Why not take advantage of it and give yourself a little bit of a platform? I'm happy to. I'm looking to create more content for YouTube and collab with people. Me and Shani are going to be working on something ourselves. So if you like the idea of that, guys, more Eddie on YouTube, we could definitely record quite a lot in one night and then like drop them out every now and then. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's going on YouTube. I have to rehearse with them. I have to find a really good way of saying don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh yes, that's true.
I think that YouTube streaming about 90% of that is just saying that, I think, over and over again. So I'll get on that. Don't worry.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, a pound shop special, that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. We could definitely like find stuff and create some novelty items. If you like the idea, yeah, absolutely. I'm looking to create more content, and I'll definitely love to get Eddie involved in that. And Eddie will definitely be on more streams. Absolutely. Well, the idea is that we're going to film a Red Dwarf episode tomorrow. I'm going to have it edited on Tuesday, and it'll be there on my birthday stream on Wednesday. Which details of that will be coming soon. I turn 32.
Ooh, the big 3-2 milestone.
Yeah, it is a bit of a milestone in it. Yeah, I'll never pass it again. So, so how old? Charming, unbelievable. Well, not old at all. Laugh, 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 laugh. So there's a lot going on. Eddie's a very active individual. I mean, antithesis of me. I mean. I basically live online, but I'm happy with that. I'm genuinely happy with that because it's a nice break when I don't and I get to do something. But I'm happy with my online life and everyone here and sharing it there. I feel like I'm being sociable every time I hit go live and I'm going out there. As long as I keep doing new stuff and inventive things, I feel like I'm doing new stuff all the time. So that's always pretty cool. How did you survive the meteor, Sol?
Damn.
Are you calling me a bird? Huh? Did I mean to phrase that?
Yeah, that was. I
mean, I know you're referring to dinosaurs, but I'm assuming I evolved from one. I'm only 32, right? They weren't around.
I'm thinking of puns already for this. Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. I'll think of something better in a bit.
Come at me, bro. Brilliant. Oh, that one hurt. That was dinosaur. That was. Oh dear. This is turning into a train T-Wreck. So
nice.
He's the funniest guy.
Thank you. It's why you love me. Oh dear. Eddie. What kind of games do you play, mate?
Right, well, so I play a lot of Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
I do. I'm very active in. I'm a massive Pokemon fan from back in the day. I used to love the games.
Mm-hmm.
My second tattoo will be a little Bulbasaur on my leg. I'm planning that, you know.
Nice.
So I do a lot of the PvP for that, which I really enjoy. I absolutely love Dark Souls. Bloodborne is, I would say, the perfect game. If anyone's not played Bloodborne, I'd say it's the best game ever. Well, it's 3, is that, and then Borderlands 2, which is my
we played
Borderlands
2.
Yeah. We did. Yeah. I absolutely love everything about Borderlands 2. I've not played a game more than that. I've just had so much fun with that over the years.
I was going to say, when COVID hit, and lockdown happened, we were like, well, how do we keep socially interactive? So that's when we started Borderlands 2 for a little while. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's it. And as Big Potato said, Majora's Mask. Yeah,
I was going to say Zelda. Yeah,
huge Zelda fanboy. I got every Zelda game released. The originals on the NES and everything as well. I've got a Zelda tattoo, Majora's Mask tattoo. So quite a lot of room is all decked out. Well, the house is just Zelda memorabilia all over the place, you know. So
my earliest memory of you, Eddie, is actually you bringing in
yeah.
The Legend of Zelda on the Super Nintendo, I believe. Or was it the original one?
Yeah,
the Super Nintendo.
It was. Yeah,
and,
that was a Link to the Past.
That's right, Link to the Past. And you brought it in because it was like games time or whatever. Or like, it was like the last day of the year or something like that for our school, and it was like a fun day. And so he brought it in, and I saw it on the screen, and everyone else wanted to play outside, and I was like, "What is this? I've never seen this before." I was a Sega guy, so what is this RPG? What, you could go into houses and talk to people? I love adventure games. I didn't know there was combat or anything. I literally just walked around, talked to everyone again and again, getting all their dialogue, just like I do in every adventure game ever. And I was enthralled by it. But that was I was like, that's Eddie, the orange kid. You know, he was bright orange. He was bright orange when he was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now.
It was skin and everything. It was the condition I had, you know. Yeah.
He was like Trump with the contrast turned up the max, right? So yeah, he brought in Zelda. That's my earliest memories through Zelda. I never played one since. I've never played Zelda since I touched that controller back in
honestly.
Yeah.
That is the type of game I reckon you would love. It's huge, especially for a Super Nintendo game. The game is absolutely enormous. There's so much to do, and yeah, you can talk to literally every single character you see, which is really cool. A lot of them just say obviously a few things, but it's great going to someone's house or finding a cave and there's just someone to chat to. If someone came to my house dressed in green with a sword, the first thing I would say is, can you please leave? I wouldn't say, I'll follow them a quest. Or,
sorry, I have
to give them some tips.
If someone came in dressed in a blue costume, you would be a little bit more hospitable. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think, blue's quite a neutral colour, isn't it? So maybe they just want to come and have a chat. So
how dare you come in wearing green? Please change your costume and come in again. Leave your sword at the door.
Yeah, you have some nerve coming in green. Okay, this is my house.
Hey, Wolf Brothers, how you doing? It's Santa. Santa.
Hey.
Whoa, a cheer from Wolf Brothers. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that very much.
Actually, we'll be dressed as Santa in a few weeks. We do, yeah. Every year, actually, funnily enough, I get calls. I used to volunteer for Santa in do it in some schools when I used to work at them, and a school I sort of helped out in. And I put it on my CV years ago. And every single November, I get emails saying, "We were looking for a Santa in a local shopping centre. Would you like to interview?" And I was like, "No, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm busy."
That's so funny.
Every time I visited one of those Santas in the shopping malls, right, as they say. Yeah, you do. You say shopping malls. That's what you do.
Okay.
Hey, I'm deaf person. I go to shopping malls. Right, and so
if I close my eyes, I wouldn't know who was talking. Then it's uncanny,
Every time I went to them, I always ended up. They would go, "What do you want?" I go, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I go, "Well, I would like the wrestling figures. I would like some video games, please. And what do I get? Colouring book."
Love that.
Well, I'm doing my best. So, okay, there's a lot of kids in the world. Only so many elves.
They don't even provide coloured pencils.
Wrestling guy. Crayons are well easy to make, by comparison.
Yes. Showing us a kid, I probably even took my grandparents, so I think my mum probably knew Santa was a bad idea. I never believed in Santa as a kid. The reason I never believed in Santa was because when it was time to open the presents, all of them said to Sol from Mum and Dad. So, who's this Santa dude? I just got presents from my family. Like Santa guy was the guy on the adverts for Coca-Cola. That was he was the guy that I got.
So your family didn't do the whole Santa thing?
No, they said, "Why don't you leave milk and cookies out?" or something like that once. And this was many years after I already knew they were buying presents. I was like, okay then, but if they're gone by morning, I know Dad's had them. I know he comes down at 1 o'clock in the morning every night. So well, he's definitely gonna do it. Free the elves. I think it's free
one
themselves.
memory. Just going back to what Big Potato is saying. She believed in Santa for way too long. There was a time when I was, I think, about 8 years old, and I was still in the mindset that Santa was real at that time. And I remember going to the bathroom in the middle of the night and looking out the window, and I thought I saw, obviously, Father Christmas. I looked up and I was like, oh, there's something moving in the sky. That's clearly Father Christmas and his reindeer. And I ran to my mum. I said, Mum, I just saw Father Christmas. And she was like, oh, that's so amazing. Looking back now, she knew that was not the case. I'm sure she and my dad were mugging me off for ages about that. Like, oh, this guy, he's look outside, saw Santa Claus. And I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Looking back now, I don't think it was Father Christmas. I'm not entirely sure. But it's probably not him, to be fair.
I love the fact. Like, how old were you, did you say?
8 years old. Mate, I was a very sheltered child.
When you said you went into the bathroom, turned around, I thought you were going to say you saw yourself in the mirror and thought, oh no, it's me. Even at 8 years old, he had that beard. Yeah.
Gosh, every year.
I was Santa all along.
That episode of, what's that film? The Santa Claus, when he shaved off his beard, it just grows back.
Oh, it grows back. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh dear. My word. We do have a laugh. We grew up with the same kind of influence in terms of British comedy. That's something that we very much connected on. Where it's Blackadder, Red Dwarf, Bottom, making references all the time. Eddie has always paid me my best compliment I think I've ever had. Actually, I was round doing one of his little soirees when we did the magic bag and everything. And I think it was just before we went home, and someone new was there that I had only just met, and they were familiar with Bottom, I think. So they said you a bit like Richie, and then Eddie went, you do everything like Rick Mail. You get the mannerisms down, you've got everything, and that was the biggest compliment because Rick Mail is my hero. That's why I have him on my wall. I know you can't really see it right now. To give me that compliment, even just through my natural instincts, like if I'm trying to kind of summon him up, sometimes I do Rowan Atkinson, sometimes it's Rick, but like I don't even sometimes know I'm aware I'm doing it, and for him to just recognise it, those little ticks, because I know that he knows Rick Mail, it was the best compliment. It was like, my word, I've achieved comedy goal. Right, I've hit the peak. Ricky's God, he is, and
he absolutely is. There's no one like him at all, and everything he does is just gold. You know, there's nothing that isn't. Even if he's not on. If he's not the one with the attention, he's just in the background, and he's just fantastic.
Always worth watching, and that was kind of like that. Well, that's a really good way of putting what I'm trying to do on Twitch, where I'm trying to get people to come on and have a platform. It's that at the same time, hopefully, I'm still doing Soul, right? It's like Twatch. Like I'm the host. Like I only do like actually a few things throughout the show. I don't actually do a lot of the jokes, but I'm still there and a prevalent figure. And so I like to think that hopefully I can still carry on being soul and humorous enough for everyone to not feel like they're not getting much of me, because I want Meatloaf and Puns, and then obviously whoever our guests are, to have the floor and to be fucking amazing, because I love them. I think they're funny as hell anyway. So that kind of compliment was the best thing I think I've ever heard. It going my way, so thank you very much for that. So you're very much into music. Now, Deaf Violets, you love music too. A little bit. Every time we have someone who's got music out, I've made it a thing where I always say Deaf Violets likes music too, because I don't really. I mean, I do like music, but not necessarily in the same kind of like in terms of like a hobby like I follow or anything. But I always just go, I don't have this as a hobby, but Deaf Violets does. She does everything I don't.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But like you could say a band. I listen to quite a bit, but I just don't know any names. It's you wear the shirts.
Yeah, because they look cool and I like the music.
There you go. That's good enough for me. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, I wear wrestling shirts. You want to talk about wrestling? We can talk about wrestling, all right? When Lord Entropy gets on here one day, we're going to be talking wrestling, all right? So, but music's here, so you cover it, all right? So please, Deaf Violets, ask Eddie a musical theme question.
My apologies. Do you know how to play the flute?
Is that euphemism? What is going on here?
You said music question a little bit.
Of all the questions about music that I could have been asked, I think last one I was expecting was, do you play the flute?
Do you?
Funnily enough, actually, I'm a world-renowned flautist. No, I do know the word. I knew it. It's called a flautist, but I don't play the flute. No.
Well,
I got a guitar when I was 17 because it was the same one that Rob Flynn from Machine Head had, and I was like, you know what? I am absolutely going to become a rock god. I learned to play Bingo. You know that song about a dog. And so I was like Teen Spirit, and then that was it. And then I was like, I don't want to practice. I just want to get good straight away, and then I didn't. So,
in y'all's like elementary school or whatever you call it, did you guys have to learn how to play the recorder?
Yeah, we did.
You didn't have to, but it was definitely there. Yeah, I never remember having to do it.
It was like a requirement. Like hot cross buns is like burned into my brain.
I had
memories.
I had a keyboard where the only thing I could learn on it was Alouetta. So I hate that now. It's French, isn't it?
I think the best of that recorder is a lot of those kids play for hundreds of hours and they sound exactly the same as someone just found a recorder, you know. And they all play Hot Cross Bun really slowly, and it's like, okay, you know, it's possible. A bit quicker.
I have to actually learn how to play the harmonica in case, because the idea was that Montgomery was going to have the harmonica, right? And he always has it. It's a character trait of his. And so I was going to learn something for when or just a little thing for when we did the Crystal Maze. But now I've brought the character back and he's got his harmonica in his pocket all the time. I'm going to have to try to learn something. Otherwise, it's just going to be, he's going to bring it out and in character not be able to play it. And that's going to kill me if I can't do anything. Maybe that'd be funnier.
It would be funnier, but I know you don't have a phone, Sol, but if you were to like just have a harmonica and in your pocket just like play a YouTube video of someone playing the harmonica and just pretend like it's you,
let's just hope that not many people that will see Montgomery next are not in the chat right now and not know that I will cheat.
Really poorly as well, so it's really awfully dubbed that you just pretend like that and then you stop and then it's still playing.
Oh crap.
Or I think I'm done. I'm like,
we had remember when I was in year 6.
Monicas and that I'll throw one at your head then. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
At one point in middle school, I talked about Zelda to one of the teachers, and we had we're quite an interesting music room. And they said, and I'll talk about Ocarina of Time. I said, I always want to play an ocarina. And she got an ocarina in for us to play. And I looked at it and I was like, I don't know how to play this. It's got a lot of O's.
Potato plays it.
And I've tried it once, so I want to do this again. And I felt so bad that she got this in specifically. I didn't think it was a real thing. I thought it was just in the game.
Yeah, it's true. I'm pretty sure that Potato has one. I'm sure she played it not too long ago. So I did an art for Monty. Oh no.
Yeah, she was a really good teacher. Actually, I let her down. So if you're watching this, Miss Green, I am really sorry that I didn't carry on the ocarina. But, she might be in there. I'll write her a letter, yeah. To Miss Green.
Oh my god.
You might not remember me.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see a picture I took from the photo shoot of Monty in framed glory, Meatloaf has dropped it in the art attack in the Discord. It's something else. Get the video to Miss Green. Yes, we need to do this. Absolutely. Oh my word. So I believe you have something that you wish to show us here. It's that regular segment of show and tell, Eddie.
Oh yeah. So on the topic of Zelda, I think I'm trying to think what to show, because I've just got a load of random stuff really, and I thought I'd show the coolest waste of money I've ever made.
Brilliant.
And it is very cool to me. It's this.
Whoa!
I can see it. There's a bit of a delay.
Big potato. Look at that.
It is a lamp. It looks nothing like a lamp.
No.
I saw it and I thought I have to have that. I don't want to take it out of the box because it's too precious and I'll probably break it. So it just sits in the room where a function lamp would, and I just have to buy another lamp really. I've got to get a lamp to replace the one, I can't use. But it's a very cool thing. I've always been really interested in just the imagery of Majora's Mask in general. It's so dark, and I love all the everything about it, really.
Why is it so dark in here,
I
Eddie?
thought if I'd ever cosplay
Can't we
with
turn
it,
the light
I
on?
would do that.
Why is it so
Why
dark?
don't you play too?
Oh, I'm being raided! Oh, wait a minute. Whoa!
Oh my goodness.
Numa guy coming in with the raid. Welcome in, Numa. Thank you so much for the raid. Oh, it's a pleasure to see you here. Hello. Numa raid. Woo! Yes, absolutely. Numa, what were you doing? You were on Dragon Age. It was Sunday. I think you were doing Dragon Age. Hey, how you doing?
Okay.
Real Henderson. Thank you for the follow there. Appreciate that.
I knew I was great.
Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Everyone who doesn't know me, I am Sol. I am the variety streamer, host, and improv comedian. And you have joined us in the middle of the Sun-Dried Bunnies Podcast, where me and my co-host here, Death Violets, Death Violets, there we are, are joined by my personal friend and lover. Oh, didn't mean to mention that last bit. Eddie, there he is.
You might as well mention it now. It's the cat's out the bag.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, if they didn't get it from earlier on, they're going to get it now, and they're really
Very true. And we're just we're about to see a show. We were about to see a show and tell. And do you want to show it again for all the raiders that are coming in and what Eddie has brought today? It's this lamp that is never turned on. Why? Because it's a collectible. That's why it's so dark in here, he says.
It's too beautiful. It's just, I can't use it. I appreciate it too much to ruin it, really. You know, everything I touch sort of tends to break. So
that's right. Nima
Just get a second one. And then you can plug that one in.
That's true.
That's actually a very good point. I do that.
One of the many things. FPG. One of the many things he can't turn on. I think you'll find that this chat is very erect and wet.
Controversial, yes, so true.
Numa, how was your stream first and foremost? I hope you had a great time. And yes, you did play Majora's Mask. I remember it very well. Yes, I hope you had a great time. I'm going to give you the fair G there. Thank you for raiding me. I really do appreciate it very much. How's it going, Sol, DV, and Eddie? I think we're all swell. DV's in the middle of a big move at the moment. Eddie's feeling festive, and I'm here being Sol. And I'm feeling all right. Yeah. All right. So great show and tell item, great collectible. Yeah, I just love the fact you just don't turn it on. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I completely forgot until you mentioned it today.
I know. I tend to do that.
I find something to show and tell, and I was thinking, I did think, I could put on the Super Nintendo, like the original show and tell. Like, okay, this is the same one I've had since I was 4 years old. But I couldn't find the wire.
No Dragon Slayer yet. Oh no, couldn't find the wire. Moves are fun, especially in the winter. So yeah, I remember. What was it? It's because you weren't on Discord that much. And so what I do is I normally have a formula where I send out messages like reminders of stuff like, hey, I booked you for the show. Like, remember this is how it's going to work, sort of thing. And I thought, oh, it's Eddie, you'll be all right. I completely forgot. There's a show and tell, so I just kind of casually went, "Don't forget your show and tell, mate." Just put it in under pressure.
Yeah, and I was thinking, you must have told me this a month ago. You know, I was invited on ages ago. I must have known.
I knew that you also had a lot of stuff there, hence why I suggested that thing earlier. But yes, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. So yeah, a lot of stuff. What's happening in the future, Eddie? What are your plans? So you looking to collab with me more? Have you ever thought about streaming yourself?
I have thought about it, but I'm not interested enough. I don't think. I think it's people like streamers are very engaged. I've only just started looking. I think you were the first streamer I ever watched, actually, to be honest. Right. Then I started looking at other streamers as well.
You did.
And I've watched everyone's stream here pretty much a few times, and everyone is very interested and engaging. Mm-hmm. And I would just forget people are there, play, rage quit, and then leave, and I'd leave my computer on, forgetting I was streaming, and then I'd just go to bed.
Brilliant.
And then I'd wake up in the morning and think, why are people... I don't know what's going on. I'd love the idea of sort of being on more streams. They're really good fun. Yeah, a lot less pressure.
There is always an open invitation for you to be here. If you have free time, we can get it to work. I'm open to it. I love to collab with people, especially to give you a platform as you don't find yourself, because I think you're fabulous. You're the reason why you're my friend, and I love you very much. So it's awesome. Ghost just licked the screen.
Also,
I guess charming.
I can barely open Discord, so it's like when you tell me all the things you do and open all the menus and stuff, and I'm thinking, right, okay, that's enough for me, to be honest. You know, I'll just watch someone else do it and then just turn up, really.
But hey, you know what?
Let my lines and then go home.
I have a setup here. I have a setup here now where you can literally come in here, you can play the game. I've worked out how to get Bloodborne as well for you to play.
Well, all right. I'm going to be on all the streams now.
Yeah, we'll I don't know if the connection will be spot on, but I think if I set up 2 Ethernet cables, I can do a kind of PlayStation share play feature where the device
actually works better.
Where the device connects to each other. So yeah. So I can literally have it set up on the PC, capture the window that's actually sharing the PlayStation screen, and then we broadcast that with all the usual stuff. So
that'd be great. Actually, that works really well, because then if I am not doing particularly well, I can just it's a technical issue, it's a bit of lag. I'm really sorry, everyone. I would have done this, but connection. Just pretend like the buttons aren't working or something.
In terms of Dark Souls, I could get them on Steam, so that way you can play directly, and there'll be no excuses.
Oh yeah, okay. Well. In that case, I'm quite busy over the
convenient. Right now we want to just briefly go across to a British saying that we normally deliver to our guest, but as Eddie is also British, we are both going to deliver this singly to Death Violets and put her on the spot once more. So here, now Eddie, you'll know what this is. Maybe you might want to hint at her if she's struggling. But we're going to give you a British saying, you're going to tell me what it means. So, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone, ready? The saying this week is, I've dropped a clanger.
Yeah.
I've dropped a clanger. Is that like,
It's not affiliated with the program, The Clangers.
I love those little meanie guys.
Is it like, it's kind of like spilling the tea, like you just drop a lot of information on somebody.
Oh, I can see where you're going, but no.
And it's kind of like, or like you're gossiping and it's like stirring the pot,
You're sort of getting there gradually, but you're not there enough for me to give it to you. No. Big old poop, says New. I knew that someone was going to say it. No, I'm afraid it isn't. What do you think?
Fucked up? Is it you fucked up?
I would say you dropped a clanger, or I dropped a clanger, is sort of like saying I committed a faux pas. Right? I think that's basically it's a British equivalent to that French saying. So yeah, I've dropped a clanger would be, I've done something that is socially embarrassing or socially awkward or created a awkward moment. So you could say like for example, I always remember there was this sketch show called Spoons. It's not many people know it. It was a Channel 4 one, and they had a regular sketch where there'd be a couple at like a barbecue or a funeral, and out of nowhere, the wife would, like, the guy would say something that's completely innocent, but the wife would take it as an innuendo and just shout at the top of her lungs, I don't want to do anal. Right? Oh. That's it, right? And it just, then everyone's awkward, and actually she dropped a clanger, right?
Okay.
So it's kind of like an embarrassing thing. It's a social faux pas. But it could also work in a different way. You could also accidentally say something that you didn't mean to, like, and then like say you kind of like spill some gossip or something that you weren't meant to. So it's not necessarily the gossip itself, but rather that you realise that shit, I've dropped a clanger. I've dropped something that I shouldn't have. Spoons was weird. Well, you remember Spoons? It was basically a sketch show based around relationships, actually. You made a mistake, pretty much, but it's definitely more of a social embarrassment thing rather than just making it. Like, if you just dropped your coffee, I wouldn't say that you did a clanger. It's definitely something to do with social interaction. Okay. Yeah. But there you go. Yeah, well done. I think you got fairly close for that.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't too bad.
Do you remember any clangers you've dropped in the past, Sol?
Oh, I'm sure I've done a few. Well, I nearly did one earlier when I said real name. But I'm trying to think. Yeah. There was one major incident. Right. So I was in drama, and I had just played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Okay. And there is a joke in that, which it was fresh in my mind. I don't think I really understood it at the time. It was something like, "You're really small. I feel sorry for your dad." Right? I think it was definitely for GTS Central. So yeah, and I said that to someone in drama class because it was fresh on my mind. She had lost her father very early in her life.
God.
The joke was horrible anyway, and it says if I didn't really understand it at the time, I know it now, I get it now, but I just thought, oh, it's a funny joke that someone else might get, and it's just fresh on my mind because I heard it. It was awful.
That's a yikes for me,
Yeah,
dude.
definitely. I was about 13, 14. I must have been 14 when San-Dried came out, and it was like fresh when it came out. So yeah 14.
If you look up dropping a clanger in the dictionary, you'll see a picture of Soul and that quote underneath. You know,
Dictionaries don't have pictures.
Well, they should.
Some do.
My
Depends on
face,
which one you look at.
So dropped a big clanger. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I don't know if I've told you this, so I have a very similar story from not that long ago.
Oh dear.
I was a cashier at Michael's, the craft store, and this older woman, was very upset. Like, you could tell she was very, like, emotionally distant, like, on the verge of crying. So I was trying to talk to her and, like, you know, make sure she was okay while ringing her up for her stuff. And she told me, like, oh, you know, my daughter just died. And her daughter was in her, like, 30s or whatever. And I was like, oh, like, I'm so sorry to hear that. Pause. I am very much... I had good intentions. I'm very much so in the mentality of, like, you know, things happen for a reason. The universe just kind of goes as it goes. Like, everything's going to work out. I accidentally told this woman, I was trying to be supportive, and I was like, oh, you know, well, things just happen for a reason. And she just started crying and ran out of the store.
Oh, no.
And I wanted to quit.
Yeah. Oh.
I hated every minute of that. It haunts me to this day because that wasn't my intention. Come on, like that.
Oh dear, yeah, that's a good example. Oh my word.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Like, you got to remember that it was a faux pas. Like, you had no intention of making her upset.
No, I didn't.
I had no intention because when I did it, but I didn't really understand the joke. It was just mistimed and not really appropriate.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson. But
I dropped it down a while.
You dropped that kind of down.
Yeah,
drop the whole down. Drop the whole. Oh, brilliant.
Amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie has been gracious enough to give us his time. Did you want to say exactly what you do for work, by the way? You don't have to, but...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So I have two jobs. So full time, I work in the admissions team for a school and college for kids with autism, which is the best job in the world. I never ever want to leave. The fact I can work from home is even better. I get to wear Christmas jumpers every day in December. They don't mind. They actively encourage it. It's a brilliant job. I never want to leave. And on weekends, I work in a supported living provider for adults with mental health concerns.
Yeah.
So I work in pretty much all the time. But yeah, it's great. I'm very lucky. Both jobs are fantastic. And I never want to leave either of them, really, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fantastic. And he's been gracious enough to give us his time tonight. And tomorrow he'll be here with me as we film Red Dwarf for my birthday stream on Wednesday. Eddie, how do you have time to go to the club with two jobs?
I get very little sleep. You make time sometimes, you know. Going to clubs, though, it's one of those things that is great at the time, and then I realise I'm 31 about halfway through the night, and 3 or 4 beers in, I just want to go to bed. So I tend to, most often I fall asleep at some point in the night.
Eddie, you are right. You are. I'm going to call you out on your shit there. Because I know that 3 or 4 drinks in, Eddie ends up like this.
Pretty much that, yeah. I mean, if you not ask anyone who's ever met me, my calling card or my sort of, I'm just there swaying eyes are closed because the body is shutting down.
Yep.
The mind is willing.
I have to grab Eddie by the arm.
Yeah, I mean,
Grab
that sort of limbo
back.
area between is he falling asleep? Is he still coherent?
Yeah.
Who knows?
We just have to
Eventually
guide him
I'll
out the
find a chair.
place. Guide him out the place. There we go. Put the drink down
The
there,
amount
Eddie.
of
Put the
times,
drink
honestly, the amount of times I fallen asleep in class. I fell asleep at a concert once. I was watching Bring the Horizon, a metal band, and I just like leaned against the wall and just fell asleep. In Rob Zombie, I fell asleep actually when I was honestly. I paid £50 for a Rob Zombie ticket, and I was I had about 8 beers at this point, and I was falling asleep, and then I woke up with a fright because a man behind me saw I was falling asleep, and he licked my ear for a dare, and I was like, "What is going on?" And
Is that Numa guy from Twatch? Didn't he lick ears? Oh no, he sniffed them. That was it. Something like that, wasn't it?
Our friend Steve.
Oh yeah, Steve. First time he's been mentioned on stream, I think.
Yeah, in my drunken state, I was texting him saying, "Steve, come pick me up. We'll go get a chicken nugget." And then I left, and I forgot about meeting Steve, and I went home, and I fell asleep, and then I woke up to many missed calls from Steve saying, "Where are you, man?" I felt so bad. Yeah, essentially, I'm good fun for a few hours, and I just fall asleep or run home. So
I love that. He just wants some chicken nuggets, dude.
Yeah, absolute legend. I'm sure you'll agree. Not the nugget.
Yeah, if you ever have the misfortune of coming for a night out, we'll have a wonderful time.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll all get together one day. Big festival. Literal soul festival. Everyone comes together and falls asleep. That's
Not my kind of night, man. Sign me up.
damn right. What we'll do is we'll drink, be merry, then all fall to sleep in a massive pile. It will be warm. Anyway, what the fuck? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the Sun-Dried Bunnies podcast this week, and I'd like to thank Eddie for his time tonight. Very much graciously providing it. You will see him and our performance on Wednesday once it's filmed. I promise you, it'll be golden. And we will arrange for Eddie to not only appear on streams in the upcoming months and years to come, who knows, but also that YouTube show. You know what? You might see him on YouTube as well. So stay tuned to Twitch, stay tuned to my YouTube to get more Eddie content, and of course in the Discord for some exclusive stuff as well, including after the stream. Montgomery's video will be pasted there. His birthday message to Eddie from last year. That'll be in the Discord alone. So
don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes,
I'm practicing YouTube already, so I'm nearly there.
Eddie's got it. He's working. He knows what he's doing. And I'd also like to take the time to thank Deaf Violets, who will be taking a substantial break for a few episodes at the very least. And I'd like to thank DV for all you've done so far on the podcast. I really do appreciate it very much. I can't think of anyone better to do this podcast than your wonderful self, and you've been a star. Big Potato will be filling in. The next time we're back with the podcast will be with Shani's face reveal in 2 weeks' time. That will follow the Christmas special of Twatch with Lord Entropy as the guest. And tomorrow, next Sunday, we will have the Quadrant with Big Potato, the Abatashi, and Clown Daddy. If you haven't seen the Quadrant, you can see the first episode on YouTube. If you haven't, it's kind of a roundtable podcast discussion. Pretty fun. I quite enjoyed it. You get to meet some new people, and they get to meet each other. And we also have the last episode of the Late Night Lock-In with me and Harley, because the show is actually going to be changing into something completely new in the new year. So very exciting, I like to think. So that would be the last one. So I want to say thank you, Eddie, very much for being here. Is there anything you'd like to say as a farewell message?
Yeah, thank you both for having me. It's been wicked. Thank you for putting up with me. It's been great. Always have a wonderful time. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Yes.
I will definitely be wearing another Christmas jumper, of course. 'Tis the season. And yeah, have a very Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you very much, Eddie. And also, he will be on upcoming future episodes of some of the shows that we're doing here. And I'd like to give one final thank you to Deaf Violets for everything she's done, and that we will see you in a few months, and we hope that when we see you again, you'll have a lot of tales to tell, a lot of positive outcomes and success your way. I'd like everyone to give a big thank you to both of our co-hosts and our guests tonight. And that will wrap up the stream. I hope you enjoyed the meme review. I'd like to give a big thank you to Maggie as well for the meme review earlier on tonight. So before we wrap up, we're going to find someone to raid, and then we'll end the stream.